To vaccinate or not to vaccinate? That is the question. In my speech today, I will touch base on this hot topic of whether people should have the right to choose to get vaccinated or not. In recent days, the current President of the United States announced that he had passed a vaccine mandate order. In a nutshell, this executive order means that companies with 100 or more people must have a fully vaccinated staff, or the employee who isn't vaccinated must show their employer proof weekly that they are negative from the COVID-19 virus with negative test results. 80 million adults have yet to be vaccinated a year and a half into a global pandemic. President Biden also put in place mandates for healthcare providers who accept certain government insurances such as the popular Medicare program. Companies could face a $14,000 fine if found not in compliance with this new mandate. According to WebMD, the recovery rate from COVID-19 is anywhere from 97 to 99.75%. So why is there such a push from our government to get vaccinated? If the recovery rate of this horrible virus is so high, why are there these life-changing mandates being put in place that could put businesses out of business and people out of jobs? Ask yourself this question. Should a person have to ever choose between what they think is good for their bodies and how they're going to pay their bills? If they lose their job just because they choose not to get vaccinated? Do you think a business should have to put in clauses for new hires stating that if an unvaccinated person gets a bad case of the virus, that it allows the employer to not have to pay for their leave time and the medical expenses for that individual? We all have known someone who knew someone who got really sick from the virus or worse, died. Although I chose to get vaccinated for personal reasons, I feel like the choice to get vaccinated is an individual choice, just like abortion is an individual choice that a woman has to make. Just like the way someone wears their hair or how they dress, it's an individual choice. We shouldn't have to show proof to our employer weekly that we are not sick. That brings up another question. Who is going to float the cost of the weekly test, the employer or the employee? If the employer does it, that will be an unnecessary cost, and it would be cheaper to just hire someone else who is vaccinated. And if the employee floats the cost, that's an extra expense for some people that they just can't afford. Without insurance, the average COVID test runs anywhere from $100 to $250, and I highly doubt insurance companies are going to float the bill for weekly tests for people. The thing that makes America great is our freedom to choose. My views on this topic are that I feel that individuals, although should have the right to choose, should also be mindful of the virus and the havoc that it has caused, even with a high recovery rate. How bad would you feel if you personally were against getting vaccinated and you just happened to get the virus at work or at church or at another function and were asymptomatic and brought the virus home to, let's say, your elderly grandmother who was immune compromised? I don't know about you, but I couldn't live with myself, knowing that there was a chance I could potentially get and give someone else a virus that could potentially kill them. To me, it was a no-brainer decision. I put others before self. That is just food for thought. A survey was done by the advisory.com website asking whether Americans support the general idea of employers requiring vaccination. Of those polled, 61% opposed their current employer enforcing such mandates, and 52% supported vaccine mandates for in schools. When asked who in a specific demographic had already received a vaccine dose, at least one, the following was found. Democrats, 86%, Independents, 61%, Republicans, 52%. Caucasians, 67%, Hispanics, 63%, African Americans, 60%, females, 70%, and males 61%. Among the 572 respondents of the survey who are still unvaccinated from advisory.com, it was found that 53% are concerned the vaccine is too new, 53% are worried about side effects, 43% don't want to get the vaccine in general, 38% doesn't trust the government, 38% don't think they need the COVID-19 vaccine, 37% don't believe the COVID-19 vaccines are safe, and 26% don't trust vaccines in general. In a nutshell, it's just a personal decision. What's good for you? What's good for your family? In my case, where I work at, there's positive people daily that I come in contact with. So why not protect myself? God forbid I get it again. Who knows? Maybe it'll help me not end up in a hospital. Maybe it helped me have a less severe case. We'll never know. We can only really trust God and the doctors who come up with this vaccine. For me it was, what if I go to work, bring this home, and my kids get sick? Because I have small kids. What if my husband gets sick? He has health problems. So in my eyes, it's a personal decision, just like every other major decision. It should be a personal decision. It shouldn't be the government telling us what we should and shouldn't do with our bodies.